recent campaign stop in Iowa, Jeb Bush took the opportunity to not only strike back at Donald Trump, but also compare Donald Trump to President Barack Obama. Take a look.
And on our side, there are people that prey on people's fears and their angst as well. I don't know about you, but I think it is wrong. I believe we need to unify our country. We need to stop separating ourselves by race and ethnicity and income. We need to focus on the things that tie us together. And whether it's Donald Trump or Barack Obama, their rhetoric of divisiveness is wrong. A Republican will never win by striking fear in people's hearts. A Republican can win and will win if we have an aspirational message that gives people hope that their lives will be better when we apply conservative principles the right way.
All right, so some strong words from Jeb Bush, but what's hilarious is how unaware he is of how fear-mongering has been the #1 strategy of the Republican Party. In fact, if you don't believe us, JR put together an awesome mashup of showing you how terrible the fear-mongering has been throughout the years. Take a look.
People seem to have forgotten 9/11, Mark.
What we should never forget is what happened here on the 11th of September of the year 2001.
In the world that surrounds us, there are terrorists and there are home invaders, drug cartels.
We lost almost 3,000 people on 9/11.
Carjackers, knockout gamers, and rapers, and haters, and campus killers.
To hijack another airplane to blow up the Capitol.
Airport killers, shopping mall killers, and killers who scheme to destroy our country with massive storms of violence.
One day, I hope that I'm wrong, but one day there will be an attack that's successful.
One day, as Norman Thomas said, we will awake to find that we have socialism.
And that's why when people start talking about taking those rights away, I get a little scared.
One of these days, you and I are going to spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
But I'll tell you a little something I've learned about life from football. When you get scared, you get moving. You have to embrace that feeling of fear and not shy away from it.
We are on our own. That is a certainty.
I will quote Jeb Bush again. A Republican will never win by striking fear in people's hearts. Okay, by the way, there was another Republican by the name of George W. Bush. Well, I'm pretty sure won an election based on 9/11. 9/11, 9/11. We got to go get the evildoers and the axis of evil.
Yes.
And Saddam Hussein and the terrorists and all the guys, the bad guys in the Middle East and Gog and Magog. And by the way, the gays. Remember in 2004, they also had ballot initiatives all across the country designed to help George Bush win in swing states that said, oh, marriage between a man and a woman, gays, be afraid, gays, and terrorists and 9/11. What a joke that Jeb Bush, of all people, would now come out and say, oh, let's not do fear-mongering. Yeah, agreed. Can we shake on it?
Right. Well, fear-mongering is a very successful strategy of politicians in general, right? Republicans are definitely guilty of using that tactic more than Democrats, although Democrats use it as well. But if you look at the international scale, you also realize that, I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu is a perfect example. One of the reasons why he keeps getting reelected is because of the fear-mongering he does, the fear-mongering regarding Iran, fear-mongering regarding people living in Gaza and the West Bank. I mean, it's been a very successful tactic for him, very successful tactic for the right wing in the United States. You play into people's emotions and their biggest fears, and they're more likely to vote for you because they think that you're somehow going to protect them.
Yeah, it's the oldest right-wing trick in the book, right? Papa will protect you. Okay, there are monsters in the night. There are things that go bump in the night, and if you don't vote for me, they're all gonna get you.
Yeah.
All the other people in the world are the bad guys and the terrorists. So why am I opposed to Netanyahu? Well, why wouldn't I be opposed to Netanyahu? He's a right-winger extraordinaire. He's part of the neoconservatives. He agreed with them on the plan to invade Iraq. He pushed for it, etc. He was involved in American politics all the way back then. I'm opposed to Netanyahu for the same exact reasons I'm opposed to George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, because I don't like war. I don't think it helps the American people. I don't think it helps the Israeli people. I think it greatly hurts them. I don't want those people killed. I don't want those people hurt. And those guys, they profit off of it. And now, for one of the leading Republicans to turn around and go, oh, I do declare.
Right.
Fear-mongering? Well, I never.
Never. Well, I will say this, though. Even though Jeb Bush was wrong in his statements in Iowa, he has been consistent in being wrong, okay? So back in 2012, during the last presidential election, he watched some of the debates that happened, and he was a little troubled by them because of the fear-mongering and the division that occurred. So let me give you an example. I used to be a conservative and watch these debates, and I'm wondering, I don't think I've changed, but it's a little troubling sometimes when people are appealing to people's fears and emotion rather than trying to get them to look over the horizon for a broader perspective, and that's kind of where we are. I think it changes when we get to the general election, I hope.
So that's Jeb Bush saying, like, my party's pretty ugly.
Yep.
And so the whole idea that he's adding Barack Obama, like, oh, some of the people on our side are divisive as well, or play to people's fears as well. Who are you kidding, man? See, this is what they do. They attack people like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama. And we have our disagreements with all of those people, right? But they attack them on nonsense over and over and over and viciously. Death panels, this, that. Benghazi, oh, IRS scandal. Why don't they mention the IRS scandal? Because it wasn't a scandal, right? All these things that are made up. And then they go, oh, you see how divisive they are? You see that? I divided half the country by getting you to hate them. Well, since you hate them, now they're divisive. We're divided on whether we like them or not, right? So he's from that party, and as Anna's quote points out, he knows it. He knows he's in that party. So then he comes here and tells us, oh, watch out for Trump. He's being divisive like Obama. And by the way, you know, we're the guys who will point out Jeb Bush's massive hypocrisy here and the Republican Party's hypocrisy. Everywhere else, the main thing you'll see about this story is, oh, drams, Jeb Bush compared Trump to Obama. Huh, catfight, here we go. And that's what they'll focus on. But in Donald Trump and Barack Obama, what do those two people have in common? I mean, it is insane. And the only reason that Bush does it is because it plays to the base and it provides nice catfight. He's proposed, now show Trump clearly ahead of Jeb Bush. So he's got to engage in this debate and get in the mud with him. And how do Republicans get in the mud? They smear Obama while doing it.